It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to show you an Australian beer. It's from Bad Shepherd Brewing Company and this is their Peanut Butter Porter. This beer is coming in at 6.4% ABV in a 375 milliliter can. Although I think it's a 375 milliliter can, 355 milliliter can. So straight away, the Australian beer is slightly different from British beer. Let me show you a can of British beer. Now, the smaller cans in the UK are 330 milliliter. They always are. But in Australia, they either do 375 or 355 milliliter. And have a look at the difference. Slightly bigger can. But it makes a massive difference. When you have a glass like this, now this is a pint glass. Doesn't look like a pint glass, but it is. You can put a whole pint in here if you want to. When you put a 330 milliliter beer in here, it didn't kind of like, it feels almost half full. But with 355 milliliters, it just offers a little bit more. It offers a little bit more and it kind of fills that glass. It makes this glass feel a little bit more like a full glass of beer, if you like. Look at that. So what you're able to do straight away is you've got that one finger tan coloured head. It's a kind of a jet black beer in the glass, but you're able to swirl it straight away. Look, see? You've got that room in the glass. It still feels full. The glass still feels full with beer, but you've got that room at the top to be able to swirl it and get the aroma. And have a look at that lovely head. Look at that beer. It's a jet black, there's a little bit of light bleeding through, a little bit of light, but generally it's kind of a really dark, ruby coloured ale. I'm struggling out here this morning. It's -4. It's -4 up there. See my breath here in the conservatory. It's like one of those mornings that catch your breath. You're like, just struggling to breathe in the cold. My hands are free. I keep swapping my hands with the beer because the beer's been out in this conservatory all night, so the beer's quite cold as well. So it's making me swap continuously. Unless I hold it at the bottom, maybe I'll hold it down here, so I'm not holding the liquid itself. But the beer looks good. Let's get the aroma. I'm sure at 6.4% ABV, it'll warm me up a little bit. It smells amazing. It smells absolutely amazing. A little bit of roastiness coming through, chocolate, coffee, caramel. But then, it smells like a Snickers bar. It smells like a peanut chocolate Snickers bar. Absolutely fantastic. I'm shaking in the cold, look. The glass is shaking in the cold. It is bloody freezing. Whoa, let's dive in. Smells great. Cheers, everybody. Oh. I've had a few of these peanut butter beers and they've been a bit wish-washy. They've been a bit kind of like okay. But this is wonderful. Wonderful beer. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. Oh. I gotta put it down, it's freezing. There's a little bit of carbonation that pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. It's then filled with rich malts. A lovely chocolatiness. It's got a beautiful chocolate and peanut flavour to it. It's luscious beer. There's a little creaminess to it, but it's still very drinkable. It's still holding on to the drinkability, but it's giving a rich creaminess at the same time, as you want from a porter. as you want from a porter. I think I've had beer from Bad Shepherd Brewery before. I think I have. They're an independent, or a certified independent company here. A lot of them are in Australia. I think what happened in Australia is they seen what was going on in the rest of the world. In fact, one of their breweries got bought out by Coca-Cola. It was the one with the... I got a can of it somewhere. Is it a wild boar or something on the front of the can? They got bought out by Coca-Cola. Feral Brewing Company, that's them. They were bought out by Coca-Cola, believe it or not. And I think the Australian brewers have seen what's going on in America. They've seen what's going on in the UK. They've seen Beavertown. They've seen Oscar Blues. Lots of breweries being bought out by big companies, and the beer becoming not the same as it was. Not the same when these companies were independent brewers. So what they did, they come up with this scheme where they kind of have a badge, certified independent. And a lot of the breweries, they made that decision straight away to become independent or stay independent and keep this badge on the label. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic for Australian craft beer, because it means that the big boys can't really get in. They can't really do what they did in the UK and in America. Whereas they buy like Oscar Blues Brewing Company or Beavertown and they pretend to be craft beer. They pretend to, these big boys, a wolf in sheep's clothing, they pretend to be these craft breweries, but the beer changes instantly. I can't verify too much on Oscar Blues because I've not had an Oscar Blues beer in ages. But I know that Beavertown's beers are not as good as they were. That can't happen in Australia. It can't happen. But back to the beer. I mean, this is just delicious. I want to say a massive thank you to Trav in Australia. Thank you very much, Trav. I hope it's not 9 degrees anymore. I hope it's warmed up a little bit for you. And I hope it warms up here a little bit soon, because it's absolutely freezing. That is the best peanut butter porter. I've had many of these. I think I've had some from Tailgate? Is it Tailgate Brewery? I've had their porter, peanut butter porter. They do one. I liked it. It was good, but I don't remember. I think I've had one from Thornbridge Brewery as well, a peanut butter porter. But I don't remember them being as good as this. This is just... It's like drinking a milk chocolate Snickers bar. It's absolutely fantastic. There's a little bit of bitterness from the roasted malt. There's a little bit of sweetness from the sweeter malt there. The flavours that they've used, the chocolate and the peanut, is just fantastic. Fantastic. I know it's an adjunct, and I know sometimes I bang on about adjuncts, but when adjuncts are used properly in beer, like this, then absolutely fantastic. Now I'm really able to whirl the beer around. Look at the quality on that beer. Look at that quality. They're based in Victoria in Australia. And here's it is Reserve Road, Cheltenham, Victoria. Bad Shepherd Brew Co. And it's badshepherd.com.au if you want to go to their website. Leading you into temptation. A legendary former brew crew beer returns, inspired by one of our chefs' love of Buckeye candy, Moorish peanut butter fudge balls, partially dipped in rich chocolate. Go on, Google it. Our mouth was watering when we did. Brewed with chocolate malt, chocolate wheat and hazelnuts. The hero in this creamy, decadent and full-bodied porter is the peanut butter character. I cannot tell you how good this beer is. You have to go and try it yourself. It's really, really good. They got a brew pub in Reserve Road, Cheltenham, Victoria, if you're around that area, to go and try them out. But that's the best peanut butter porter that I have ever had. Ever had. That is just truly wonderful. Thank you, Trav, for sending. I'm going to rate it. It's just delicious. Absolutely delicious. Rich and creamy and smooth, but refreshing. Absolutely full of wonderful flavours. Just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. I like it. I like it enough to give it... I just found a splinter in my thumb. I like it. I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.